Hello artists! Today we're going to make flowers using oil pastels. Really easy technique, and you get such great results from these oil pastels and just this simple way of drawing flowers. So we're going to start by using warm colors. I'm just going to pull out all my warm colors. Those are your reds, your yellows, your oranges. So in the sets that you have, just find all those warm colored pastels and we're going to get started. How we're going to start is we're going to start by drawing a star-like shape. Just kind of a jagged shape like this. Maybe, you know, it's like a starfish or a star. It's kind of the middle of a flower. And then we're going to continue doing that same type of pattern, that same type of line all around, very close together. Put your lines relatively close together, and yes, they can overlap, but this is kind of like a mum or, you know, just a fun starburst kind of flower might look like this. So as you're doing this, I like to push kind of hard because I want my lines, my colors to be nice and dark. And again, you want them, you know, close together, not too far apart. We're just practicing this technique. What I love about this is that you don't even really have to look at the flower to draw it, but when we're done, this will look like a fun flower. Okay, when I've gotten it about the size of my fist, I will stop. And then what I'm going to do is either start in the middle and drag my finger to the outside of the flower, blending the pastel. So I'll always go from the middle to the outside. You could do it from the outside to the middle too, but I like having it kind of feather out to the edge. So do that. Go ahead and smear those oil pastels with your finger. And now what's happening is we're getting some nice values. We've got some darker values, some lighter values, even some of the white of the paper is going to show through. And isn't it amazing how much that really does look like a flower? All right, now I'm going to take the cool color, a blue, and maybe put some dots in here. You know how flowers have that middle part, it's like the seeds there in the middle. And then you can come back in and you could add some other details, put some more colors back in if you wanted to, maybe, you know, a few more lines, some other little spots, but there's a really easy way to make a flower, and that would be kind of like a mum. Of course, flowers are shaped differently, so another way to do this is by making your shapes different. So this was a zigzaggy line, kind of like a star. But what if we did one that was more of your typical flower, rounded like this? Let's try this. So we're going to do this shape now. And then again, different color. I'm going to stick with those warm colors, but I'm going to choose a different color. And again, I just keep outlining those same lines, the same shape until I get my flower around the size that I want it to be. And you can overlap. And then I'll do the same thing, start in the middle and then pull the color out to blend it. Oh, I just love it. I think with this one, I'm going to come back in and put a little bit more yellow in here. Maybe just color in some of the shapes. And then I love that dark red, so I'm actually going to do that one again on the outside. Just a kind of a thin line here. Not too heavy, but just to kind of establish the flower, give it a little bit more definition there. And then I'm going to grab a cool color again and put some of those dots there in the middle. All right, so two different kinds of lines, more of a bumpy curved line, a spiky line here. And look at those amazingly beautiful flowers we have created with only getting a little bit of our finger dirty. Okay, so those are those kinds of flowers. If you want to do a daisy, now if we do daisies, those are the petals, they're shaped more, you know, they have the round part, but then they're shaped more like this. So this technique, we're going to actually draw the petals, and then we'll still blend them and do something very similar to that. So now I'm going to take a little bit different color, and on the same side of every petal, I'll put that color down. I think I got confused. And then maybe I'll do the next value, and so that one's going to go in the middle. And then a little bit darker. I think I'll use the pink right along that other edge. So I have 3 different values. And again, I'm just going to take my finger and blend them. Now this time I'm going to take a little bit more time blending because I really want to blend them all together. Notice when I'm blending, I'm going the direction of the petal. This is very important because even on these flowers, if we smudge straight across like this, you're not going to get that star-like, you're not going to get the pastels pulling to make the idea that the petals are coming from the middle and going outward. So when we blend, you have to pull it straight. You have to pull it the shape of the petal, the way the petal goes. Because, you know, if I just rubbed it like this, then I would just make a big blur and I would lose the definition. But we want that darker color on one side and the lighter color on the other side. So when I blend it, I'm blending it to achieve that. And that's how you would do that kind of a flower. And again, then I would come back in and put some of those seeds in there. And then you could put a little bit more details in if you would like. All right, have fun practicing flowers, artists.